They look down on the new cleaning poor girl, not knowing she is the CEO's beloved wife. There are moments in life when the quietest person in the room carries the loudest storm in their heart. From the first day Elara stepped into the towering glass building of Sterling Heights Corporation with a mop in her hand and a cleaning cart beside her, the world seemed to pause and watch, though not with kindness, but with concealed judgment. Her gray shirt was faded, her jeans worn, her shoes cheap and slightly scuffed, and the green gloves she wore only amplified how out of place she appeared among polished marble floors and tailored suits. She looked fragile, small, almost invisible, yet there was something steady in her eyes, like a flicker of light fighting through darkness. She wasn't just cleaning the floors, she was silently sweeping away the pieces of a life that once nearly destroyed her. But no one around her knew who she truly was, or what power her name once held. They only saw a poor cleaning girl, completely unaware that she was the beloved wife of the very CEO whose signature decisions shaped their futures. If you believe in kindness and second chances, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support spreads compassion to others. Elara had not always been invisible. There was a time when her presence drew admiration instead of pity, when her laughter echoed through boardrooms instead of empty corridors. But tragedy had a way of reshaping destiny. Months earlier, she had chosen to step away from wealth and status after a painful misunderstanding led the media to vilify her, questioning her intentions, painting her as a gold digger who married for money rather than love. The rumors spiraled, her parents fell ill from stress, and her marriage to Adrian, CEO of Sterling Heights, came under the harsh spotlight of public debate. Elara never sought attention, and the cruelty overwhelmed her. She left the mansion without a word, choosing silence over confrontation. But Adrian searched tirelessly, unable to accept her absence, questioning himself every night about why she vanished without confiding her grief. What Elara needed most was space, to rediscover her own strength and find her worth beyond others' perceptions. So when she saw a job opening at Adrian's company, she made a bold decision, to return, but not as his wife, only as a name on a cleaning crew list. It was not revenge, nor was it a test. It was healing, learning humility from the ground up, experiencing life through eyes unshielded by privilege. The first week was harsh. She would wake before dawn to take the earliest bus, clutching a thermos of lukewarm tea. The cleaning supervisor, Ms. Glint, was strict and sharp-tongued, quick to raise her voice if she spotted a fingerprint on a railing or dust gathering near elevator buttons. The corporate staff often walked past Elara as if she wasn't there, their polished shoes echoing confidence she once possessed but lost somewhere along the way. A group of junior analysts, always dressed immaculately, would whisper in corners, sometimes glancing at her with pitying amusement. She felt those stares more deeply than the weight of the mop she pushed across the floor. Often, she would breathe slowly, reminding herself that her worth didn't diminish just because others failed to see it. Still, their judgments hurt, not because they guessed her background wrong, but because their assumptions showed how quick society was to label and dismiss. But there were moments of grace too. An elderly security guard named Malik always greeted her with warmth, saving her a seat during breaks and offering her sweet tea in a dented metal cup. He never asked about her past, as though he sensed walls she wasn't ready to break. A young intern named Rosa once silently lent her a hand when her cleaning cart wheels jammed, and that simple gesture made Elara's eyes sting with tears she hid behind a soft smile. These small kindnesses became anchors, reminding her that humanity wasn't completely lost behind titles, salaries, or shining office badges. As days turned into weeks, she found rhythm in routine. The echo of the mop sliding across the floor began to feel like meditation. The scent of cleaning spray became familiar, almost comforting. Everyone assumed she was just another girl fighting poverty, and in a way, they were right. She was fighting invisible poverty of spirit, trying to refill a heart drained dry by judgment. When she cleaned the windows overlooking the bustling city, she would sometimes glimpse the giant billboard still showing Adrian's face, sharp jawline, intense eyes, poised confidence. She wondered if he still slept on the left side of the bed, if he still brewed his morning coffee strong with barely a spoon of sugar, or if the emptiness she left haunted him the way memories of him haunted her. Then one cold morning, everything changed. Word spread through the building like wildfire. Adrian Sterling had returned from an extended business trip abroad and was set to walk the halls for inspections. Tension filled the air, and employees scurried around to look busy, straightening their collars, reviewing documents, rehearsing accomplishments. Elara stood quietly polishing the glass front entrance, her gloved hands trembling just slightly. She hadn't expected their reunion here, under such circumstances. She didn't know how he would react if he saw her, she didn't even know if she was ready. That moment came sooner than she expected. As Adrian stepped inside the lobby, flanked by senior managers and followed by eager employees whispering praises, he looked every bit the powerful CEO she once shared a life with. His suit fit perfectly, his polished shoes reflected the ceiling lights, and his watch glistened with the same shine she once teased him about. But despite his regal presence, something about his eyes looked dimmer, like the light that once danced there had faded in her absence. Elara froze, pressing her mop against the floor as if holding herself together. The group of analysts nearby noticed her stillness and smirked, whispering remarks they believed she couldn't hear. One of them laughed lightly, saying she was probably dreaming about wealth she could never have. Another suggested she should move aside because she was ruining the professional vibe of the space. Elara swallowed hard, forcing herself to breathe through the sting. Adrian paused mid-step. His gaze drifted over the polished marble, the bustling staff, the eager faces, and then landed on her. In that instant, everything around him seemed to blur. Recognition hit him like a wave, stealing the air from his lungs. He took a step forward, then another, ignoring the confused murmurs behind him. Elara's heart raced, and she wished for invisibility, for the strength to disappear, but she stood rooted, trembling yet steady. Adrian stopped just inches away, eyes wide, disbelief softening his features. For a moment, no one dared move or breathe. Slowly, so slowly that it felt like time itself was holding its breath, Adrian reached out and gently removed one of Elara's gloves, revealing the delicate ring she still wore beneath. Gasps filled the room. Whispers turned into stunned silence. The analysts' smirks melted into shame. The managers exchanged uneasy glances as understanding washed over them. The cleaning girl was not a stranger. She was the CEO's wife, his missing partner, the woman whose disappearance once made tabloid headlines and whose absence left Adrian stepping into boardrooms with a visible heaviness he never explained. Elara lowered her gaze, tears threatening to spill, but Adrian gently lifted her hand higher, as if telling the world that shame belonged not to her, but to those who judged her worth by appearance alone. Malik, watching from the security desk, nodded with pride, as though he had always known there was more to her story. Rosa smiled softly, her suspicion confirmed. But those who mocked her felt a chill crawl up their spines, as if their whispers echoed too loudly in their memories. In the days that followed, everything shifted. Adrian didn't parade his wife through the company for display, he respected her journey and never forced explanations. Elara chose who she wished to forgive and what boundaries she needed to rebuild. She didn't return to a glamorous mansion immediately. Instead, she spent time volunteering, helping those who struggled silently as she once had. The analysts who mocked her learned hard lessons about humility, and some even apologized, realizing arrogance is a prison that locks the heart away from empathy. Malik retired with honors, his kindness remembered by everyone who knew him, and Rosa earned a scholarship funded quietly by Elara and Adrian, without fanfare or announcements. Elara didn't need revenge, she found something far more powerful: growth, understanding, and peace.